Coming out of COVID times. Gershner on goal. Veliket able to direct it into the corner, and we officially have our first shot on goal in this game. Now here come the Sea Captains back the other way. Given along for Creasion. That goes into the slot, corralled by Ruffalo. And now Matteo Ruffalo plays one ahead for Zach Gershner. Gershner, one hand on his stick, has to deal with Creasion. It goes around to the far side where Ryan Janik keeps it alive. Kicked aside by Schultz. Rebound picked up by Juno Ryu, and now New Jersey can take a moment to think things over. Ryu gets around Harrison Ranger. Over center Red. Lost possession of the puck as he's bumped aside by Ryan Janik. Reversed on back for Janik, and now the former Bay State Bobcat sees his outlet pass go off of a teammate's skate. Javier Dode gets dumped down at the right. Instead, it's Javier Dode, the rangy forward. Dips a shoulder, drives down into the corner. Now gives back for Lopez. Lopez on goal, kicked aside by Veliket. Getting tripped up on the play, but not drawing the penalty was Jake Wilkerson. Puck remains in the scrum behind the Norwich net. Directed out in front, but picked up by Levian and steered out to center. Now Neeson along for Wilkerson. A long-range shot off the stick of Aidan Raedy will eventually clear itself all the way out of the zone. Connor Gronwald back to pick it up. Gronwald near side Raedy. Raedy with a shot kicked aside by Schultz. Nice shot selection by Aidan Raedy. Low to the glove side. Schultz had to go down in the butterfly and flail a leg out. Now Gronwald. Here's Gilkitson beating out an icing call on the half wall. Gives back to Moran. Tony Moran sent around to the far side. Jesse Kiroff the first one to it. Kiroff, however, then has the puck taken away by Jake Soboleski. Soboleski and the puck roll away from him, and another number 10 in Gavin Jacoby gets it as far as the blue line. Moran, D-to-D across for Fisher. Now Moran once again. Thrown against the wall, Gavin Jacoby on the forecheck looking for possession. The scrum continues as we wink past the 8-minute mark of the first period of play. Sent back down low, Moran. Pinned against the wall by Jacoby. Far side, Soboleski flips it out towards center. Unable to field it was Raedy. Gershner for Jacoby, and then Jacoby softly up ahead as New Jersey's in the middle of a change. Payne gave on back Janik, near side Soboleski. Soboleski able to dipsy-doodle his way around one New Jersey player before in as the Titans jump out to the 1-0 lead. Well, New Jersey spent plenty of this first period pinned in their own zone. Vlad Zakharov was able to get the puck down deep, and then Finn Thoman gives New Jersey their first lead against the Sea Captains today. Now Tony Moran, with his squad trailing by 1, circles back behind his own net. Moran's outlet pass finds its way along for Aidan Raedy. Near side, Neeson a shot. Flutters over the top of the cage. Coming up empty on the check was Gilkerson. At the point, kept alive. From his stomach, Raedy able to period of play. We haven't kept them too busy other than whoever it is today who's working the clock. Sent towards the slot, Zakharov twisted out as far as the blue line, kept alive by Fisher, and sent down deep. Now Gershner around to the far side, Lance Spencer picks it up. Spencer rims one around to the near side, nobody home for the Titans, however, as Aidan Raedy takes over. Given along for Mitchell Goodman in the near side corner with 75 ticks left to go. Now Gershner has an option in Finn Thoman on the near side. Gershner across the line, instead drops off for Zakharov, who could not pull the trigger. Turned over, and now Connor Gilkison. His cross-ice pass blocked by Nick Bianco. Gilkison again, his shot fought off by Callahan Schultz. Gavin Jacoby canceled out by the forechecking Tony. You need to keep that shot lower. You want to generate rebounds. Off the draw, controlled by the Titans. Here's Kelly. Swept along Nick Bianco. Bianco pinned against the wall by Ryan Janik. Kelly comes in to help out. Also involved for the Sea Captains is Mitchell Goodman. This comes around to the far side. Poked out of the zone by Creasion. And now it's a 3-on-2. They score! Aidan Raedy snaps one past the blocker side of Callahan. Raedy, his 8th goal of the season. And the Sea Captains very quickly are able to tie things up at 1. We're just 90 seconds into the second period. This is sent back down into the Titan zone. Schultz will slow it up enough for Jesse Kiroff to take over. Ruffalo clears it on out, right onto the tape of Ryan Janik. D to D they go, and now Mason Payne, the defenseman, able to get it into his own plate in front of the Sea Captain's bench. Note about directions more often on offensive zone faceoffs for the Titans. But as I was saying before we were interrupted by the game-tying goal, 8.5 hours. Atlanta to Lafayette. That is their closest opponent. That dump in gloved by Callahan Schultz. To put that in the East, nowhere close to the longest trip out west, or rather out in the South. Farthest trip that Atlanta has to take for a divisional game, Atlanta to Albuquerque. That's long. I'm not going to figure out how long that is. Faceoff will come back onto everything so far. Nobody's dropped the gloves yet, but Aidan Raedy, his 8th at 124. Ryan Bernard, his 9th at 349. Gave the Sea Captains what proved to be a short-lived lead, as less than 3 minutes later, Finn Thoman, his 7th of the year and 2nd of the game, has tied things up. Here is Raedy. Pin against the wall by Abramson. Zakharov able to free things up. Getting bumped off of the puck was Thoman, but now Zakharov able to pick it up and get into the Norwich zone. Zakharov knocked down from behind. Tony Moran able to intercept the pass intended for Lance Spencer. And now Moran behind the net. Spencer, a big hit, is getting turned upside down. Was Andrew Fisher. Play continues. Suvorov gave along for Spencer. Spencer looking for the hit that's coming his way, and he gets the better of it as Jake Sobolewski knocked down to the ice. Meanwhile, Gilkison in the corner flips it up the near side wall. Jake Sobolewski gloved on down by Suvorov. Moran had a couple words for Lance Spencer right in front of the New Jersey bench, as Spencer, certainly the straw that serves New Jersey's drink, will get himself a squirt of water, and New Jersey will get himself Teo Ruffalo on the draw against Connor Gilkison. Harrison Ranger, or check that, Glenn Farmer's shot goes wide. Now Farmer down low. Wanted to go back to Wilkerson at the point. Wilkerson will collect it off the kick plate, give it along for Payne. Down low. And now Aidan Raedy, his snapshot off the blocker of Callahan Schultz. Still battled for on the side of the cage. Farmer, the first one to it. 45 seconds before we get back to 5-on-5 hockey. Has a big drive, stopped by Schultz, and he'll hold on. Jake Wilkerson teaching us at the Pee Wee level, when you take a shot, you're either looking to town with Craig DeRemus, Bobby DeRico, and Kyle Shapiro being let go after a 2-6-1 start a couple years after they captured the 2022 Robertson Cup. Coombs, the first coach in Epson for this draw for the Sea Captains. Korobenikoff knocks Farmer down to the ice. The puck is still underneath somebody down there. Eventually, Ruffalo is able to pick it up, give it on back to the point. Abramson had trouble corralling that. Ruffalo now finds Korobenikoff with the lanes of net. Korobenikoff scores! Daniel Korobenikoff goes upstairs. Top line centerman has just given the Titans a Farmer, or check that, Aidan Raedy, the third forward on the ice. Either way, New Jersey with the face-off win. A pass for Jacoby popped up into the air. Goodman one-hands one back into the New Jersey zone. Abramson in the way of that turns it over. A shot by Ranger, held on to by Schultz. Aidan Raedy, drive. Again, this is the fourth meeting between these two teams this season. Norwich has won all 3 prior games. Payne has to retreat out towards center. Now Janik can't get the puck deep. Second attempt. We'll get it on in. This is offsides against the Sea Captains. Harrison Ranger will draw the whistle. That's going to gone all the way down on the intentional offsides. But they don't give me a whistle nor the striped uniform here. Would be a little interesting if they did, especially up here. Here's Alex Morrison. Wanted to poke it along further. Lopez, and said Goodman turning around with a shot. Punched aside by Schultz. Now behind the net, Raedy. Already has one today. Aidan Raedy, 6'2", 205 pounds. A big body to move out of the front of the net. Had the puck roll off of his stick. Sent back in on goal, and Schultz will hold on. Face-off will be to Callahan of just about 6,400 people. Cough and Ruffalo. It'll be Korobenikoff with a clean face-off win. Zach Gershner the first one to it. Giving along to DeBueris, who chips one down the ice. Ryu's going to win this foot race, so no icing on the play. Juno Ryu left it for Korobenikoff. Daniel Korobenikoff comes out from the half wall, twirling with it. Had it poke checked away by Harrison Ranger. Ruffalo will keep it in the zone. Ryu will pursue. Ryu beaten to the puck by Ryan Janik. Over on the far side, Raedy got it out of the zone. Now Gershner on the regroup, back the other way. Korobenikoff beaten to the puck once again by Ryan Janik as the former Bay State Bobcat, showing why he was so coveted by Kevin Cunningham. DeBueris from the point, knocked around in front, picked up by Ryu. He finds Gershner, a backhand pass to nobody in particular, ends up on the far side wall. Now Ryu able to intercept and keep the puck in the offensive end. Payne has his skates taken out from under him, given along into the slot. Gershner, a shot kick saved by Veliket. Loose puck picked up by the Sea Captains and out of the zone. Here's Aidan Raedy, gives on back for Goodman. Goodman across the slot, poke checked away by Gershner. Gershner sent it up the wall, but not far enough to get it out of the knocked away from him at the red line. Thoman directs along for Bianco, and Bianco over the blue line gives along for Vlad Zakharov. Zakharov forced out of the zone, has to retreat out towards center. Now New Jersey's leading scorer back the other way. Zakharov around behind the net of Lucas Veliket. Giving on back Suvorov. Far side, one-time shot by Thoman, went off the side of the cage. Veliket getting a bit physical with Bianco. Played on back to the point. Suvorov, blue line, out of the zone. Zakharov tried giving on back for Suvorov. That's turned over. It's a 2-on-0, but it's offsides. That's just a stride ahead of the play was Aidan Raedy. In front of the New Jersey bench with 10:35 to go in the third period. Bianco could not corral it. Poke check. Connor Kelly had it knocked away. And now Gershner picks up. Gershner with the Sea Captains getting a bit more aggressive, trailing by one in the final 10 minutes of play. Connor Gronwald able to hold the line. Giving along for Harrison Ranger on goal. Stopped by Schultz, and he holds on. 10-12, and Korobenikoff on the ice for New Jersey. Connor Kelly and his group looking to keep the momentum going, as instead it's directly knocked out of the zone, picked up by Andrew Fisher. Fisher swung far side for Raedy. Turned over. Here comes Zach Gershner back the other way. Gershner along for Bianco. Bianco in the corner, canceled out by Fisher. Jacoby on the forecheck. Taken out by the Sea Captains through center ice. Gershner right in front of the Zamboni doors, knocked off the puck. Connor Kelly able to pick it up, steered for Bianco, and then Bianco throws it up ahead. DeBueris will chase after this. Dante DeBueris, the defenseman, chasing after it, gave a two-hand chop to Tony Moran, but play continues. Going to the benches, Veliket. There's an empty net for the Titans. Korobenikoff from center ice can't tee one up. 65 seconds to go. Given all the way back for Suvorov, who misses wide and moreover ices the puck. Faceoff will come down into the New Jersey Titans. Backers on the ice for the Sea Captains. It'll be Chase Levian on the draw. He's got Glenn Farmer offset left and wins it back to him. Mason Payne at the point. On goal, kicked aside by Schultz. Abramson sends it around to the far side wall. Janik tries going back down low, intended for Raedy. Now Abramson again, wanting to pin it up against the wall. Far too much time left on the clock to succeed in that. In front of the Zamboni doors, Ruffalo had it knocked away. Behind the cage, it's Creasion. Creasion calling for it, Payne. Goes all the way back up to the blue line. Janik twisted on back into the far corner with 33 seconds to go. Korobenikoff had it knocked away from him. Giving on back to Janik at the blue line. His shot lanced wide. Mason Payne gave along for Glenn Farmer. Farmer, top of the circle, goes back up to the blue line. On goal, deflected wide. 17 seconds left. From the blue line, it's blocked and out of the zone. Sea Captains have to touch up with 11 to go. Raedy back into the Titans' end. Picks up some help from Creasion. Ryu sends it down the ice. 3 seconds left. And the New Jersey Titans